Science, history, math, and English. These have been the main subjects learned in schools for a century. Of course, many valuable courses have been added to curriculums over time, but many young adults often wish they had learned more in high school about topics such as finance and taxes. For years, financial literacy has been almost an afterthought, learned through pure experience and not expressly taught in a classroom. In 2026, times are changing, and one student in particular has taken matters into their own hands. My name is Thomas Butcher, and in today's TSD World Class Podcast, we will be hearing from a freshman student at International Academy East about her recent achievement of writing and publishing her first book.
Hi everyone, my name is Saanvi Rameswarapu. As you said, I'm a freshman at International Academy East, passionate about financial literacy, and I recently published my first book, targeted towards teens and financial literacy, called First Things First. I'm excited to be here to talk about it today.
And thank you for being here, Saanvi. Of course, I know you in the Creative Guild. You're a very bright young student, and you have many talents. But this book really stood out to me, and I thought it was important for us to share a little more about this passion that you have and everything that you did. So please tell us about your book and all the topics that it covers.
Right, okay. So financial literacy is really broad, but my book personally focuses on finance that's related to people, or you could say personal finance. It covers topics like budget, investing, taxes, things that you should know in order to be able to live in our society.
And when did you get first the idea for this project?
Well, there's a little bit of a story behind that, actually, and it connects to my passion behind financial literacy as a whole. When I first got into IA, and honestly 8th grade in general is where it started, because I started noticing that in a lot of our classes, like social studies, they were teaching us about history, obviously, but they weren't teaching us about money. And it seemed like money was the motivator behind a lot of historical events, and it's important in a lot of other things too. So why weren't they teaching us about it? I asked my friends, and there was one specific video I watched because I went to talk to my parents. I was like, they're not really teaching us anything about money. I have no clue what taxes even are, honestly, because tax season was coming around at that point. And my parents showed me a video. They pulled it up, and it was where they asked, in a different country, but they lined up boys and girls, and they asked them about financial literacy, stuff that everyone should know, basic things. And the boys were able to answer a lot of it, but the girls honestly weren't, and it shocked me. I know that we live in a very progressive country, and girls are getting their financial independence here, but in a lot of places, that's not the case. And so I asked around some of my friends and their parents, not naming them, but and I realized the same dynamic was there too. And not just that, but as a whole, we learned about these we didn't learn about these economic policies and things that we should know. So that's really the passion behind it, behind the book as a whole.
And you're mentioning not learning certain things in classes. And of course, you might touch on these types of topics in certain other classes that you might take over time. You are still only a freshman. But what's impressive is that you had this curiosity and you did take your learning further, and there's that passion behind it too. How long did this take you, Saanvi? What was that process like?
Well, it took me about 6 months. The process was actually very structured. I first had an outline of the topics that I wanted to cover, which I came up with by the help of reaching out to some financial advisors and seeing, what's really relevant today and what we should know. And then once I came up with that, then I researched every topic, and for every chapter, I wrote it down. And after that was all done, then I put it all together, and again, I reviewed it with some financial advisors and such. And after that, then I formatted it, and it was ready to publish.
These financial advisors you're talking about, did you know them ahead of time? Are they family friends, or are these just new people that you reached out to for this?
They're new. I feel like if you're in the finance field, you understand how important money is, and you'd be willing to help out with something like this. Youth education is really important.
That's wonderful that they responded to you and helped you with this book. And here it is right in front of us. This is called First Things First. You have it available on Amazon at this point, self-published, and it's not just a little pamphlet. It's actually got some reading involved into it, so that's very well done on your part. Why are you so passionate about helping students learn financial literacy?
Well, as I say, money runs the world. If you don't know how to run your money, it will control you in the future. And honestly, I know a lot of students who have grown up and now are in college are struggling with things like taxes because they weren't prepared for it beforehand. That's why it's important for students to get a head start on these type of things.
One note we should mention is as of 2024, all students entering ninth grade now in the state of Michigan are required to complete a half-credit personal finance course to graduate. Clearly, you're not the only person who believes this is important for students to learn. Did you take the course at this point, since you are a freshman this year, and what did you learn that you later might have included in some of this work?
Well, actually, I took this course after I wrote my book, but it was about a month after I finished, and I realized that it taught a lot of the stuff that was in it, but not all of it. It focused on actual scenarios and things like insurance and taxes, but it didn't talk about budgeting or investing or how to really grow your money. So there are stuff like that it misses out on, but it's a really good starting point. And honestly, when Governor Whitmer passed this bill, she talked about how important it was for students to have these diverse skills, and financial literacy was an important one. So I think that she was absolutely right, and the course couldn't have come at a better time. But the book, I still think, touches on a lot of important things that the course doesn't sometimes touch on.
It's really interesting how you talk about investing in this, because as a teenager, that was the furthest thing from my mind. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't need to invest. I'm not old, you know? So why is it something like that, even at this age? Is it just understanding the concept or actually doing it?
Well, you can understand the concept, but investing early actually gives you a lot of a head start. And it's not just investing can come in like so many different forms: stocks, bonds, even savings accounts. I mean, high yield savings account, you like grow your money over time, interest. Like, a lot of people don't know about this, and they don't know that it's not that hard. You keep your money in it, and then you get money from it.
Everyone listening might agree that there are likely hundreds, thousands of books out there about personal finance. What might be unique about yours is that it's about personal finance for teens, written by a teen. How were you able to gear this information towards a younger audience to help them learn?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, when I was researching about these topics, I'm not gonna lie, I found it a little hard too. So I asked the resources that I had, and then I simplified it into ways that I would have understood at that point. So the best thing about it being written by a teen is that you know that it's from someone like you and that you can relate to them. So I used my own experiences with understanding and put them into the book. And it's very simplified and easy to understand. I know that finance is sometimes a daunting and a little bit of a dry subject, but it's put into fun terms that's easy to understand for middle schoolers and high schoolers alike.
So middle school, as young as middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Again, the younger you start, the better, honestly.
What is one finance lesson that you want to share with younger listeners today from your book?
Well, I think the biggest one would be, it teaches you how to do taxes, but it also teaches you how to leverage your money, and that's the most important thing, because when you learn how to leverage your money, then you can understand when you understand how it works and you learn how to leverage it, you can get a lot of opportunities with it that you didn't even know existed before. I know that a lot of teens think, I have to get a job and make money, but there are so many other ways. And when you learn how to leverage your money like that, you'll understand that there's a whole world out there for you to learn.
Do you have any future plans for this project or any other projects?
Oh, yes, absolutely. This book is going to be part of a series. It's going to include a lot of things. I believe the next one that's coming out will be particularly about investing. I know a subject that's in the hots with a lot of teens right now. And the series is honestly going to grow, but I think the biggest goal that I have with this book right now is that all Troy students and students alike should have access to this book. It should be accessible. So, yes, you can get on Amazon Kindle, but I am planning to maybe even host workshops, maybe collaborate with the district, try to get this book out there and give people broad access to it, because the more people learn about it, the more they'll learn about money. And that's what I really want at the end of the day.
I think your heart's in the right place. And of course, everything remains to be seen, but I'm sure that our district would be happy to have that conversation with you and see what we might be able to do from that point. Do you have any advice for students who might want to publish their own books one day about anything?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, all you have to do is get started. I mean, if you're passionate about something, then learning shouldn't really be a chore for you. You got to go into it head first and just learn about it. And even if you're confused, there's so many people you can ask. I understand that you may not have direct relatives or friends, but at this digital age, you can even ask Reddit. I mean, so if you're confused, if that's the thing stopping you, then you have resources. But if the thing stopping you is that you just don't know how to do it, I'm going to say AI is an amazing tool too. I mean, if you don't know how to structure your book, it can tell you, oh, write it this way. Obviously, do not use it to write your book. Plagiarism is not cool, kids, but you can use it as a structure and organizational tool. It's great. But you have a lot of resources, so the best thing for you to do is just go in head first and learn along the way. I mean, it'll be your first book, and if you started as a kid, no one will expect too much. It's only you versus you, so.
And again, when I was a teenager, I didn't even know publishing your own book would have been a possibility. Maybe it wasn't, because times have changed a little bit with self-publishing and whatnot, but no less impressive. And again, listeners, she's only a freshman at high school, so I can only imagine what you'll be doing over the next few years here in the Troy School District. It's very good to see. Thank you for being here today, Saanvi.
Thank you, Mr. Butcher, for having me.
And thank you all for listening to a TSD World Class Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Troy School District, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. First things first, on Amazon and soon Kindle as well. I'm Thomas Butcher, and we'll see you next time.